As we move to the quarterbacks, we cannot talk about Sunday Night Football enough with the Eagles and the Dolphins, and that's why Tua Tagovailoa, Matthew, leads the love list out of our quarterbacks.
This over-under is 52. Teams facing the Eagles average 39 pass attempts per game. That's fourth most in the NFL. Tua leads all quarterbacks in yards per pass attempt this season. So getting a lot of pass attempts, where he has a lot of yards per pass attempt. Bingo, bango, ipso facto. Eagles allow passing touchdowns, by the way, also at the 7th highest rate in the NFL. He's my third QB this week, QB3.
Jay, Geno Smith hasn't been the fantasy impact quarterback he was last year, but Arizona this week, they've kind of come back to reality as well, and we think this is a Seattle offense that will get throwing.
Yeah, I think so, and I think Geno is playing well. He's just not getting the end product.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that the Cardinals have the third worst pass defense in the NFL right now. That might be trending down as well. I think that Geno has a much better chance of throwing touchdown passes this week than in weeks previous.
Yeah, and they have the third highest implied team total. We expect, again, they're home favorites in this one. Cardinals allow the 5th most fantasy points per game to opposing wide receivers. I think Geno gets back on track. He's my QB7.
Matthew, both Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel banged up, but Brock Purdy still ranked as a top 10 quarterback against the Vikings this week.
I mean, with those two guys either less than 100% or not playing, it's going to rest more on the arm of Brock Purdy. He still has Brandon Ayuk. He still has George Kittle. He still gets the Vikings secondary, which is bottom 10 in terms of most fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks. They allow the third higher passer rating to quarterbacks. And by the way, the Vikings lead the NFL in blitz rate. Why does that matter? Because Brock Purdy is tied for the 4th most touchdown passes when blitzed. The Vikings like to blitz a lot. Purdy is good against the blitz. I have him as a top 10 fantasy quarterback this week. Yes, sure, sir. I was going to say for sure, and then yes, sir, and it got all mixed up there, and I don't know. I'm confused like the Vikings defense will be when they you know what this is? I just realized this. We're in Brocktober.
We are.
We're in Brocktober.
Which is what makes the Browns' performance so amazing, that they're able to do that in Brocktober as opposed to September or November.
Right.
A couple others receiving votes, Jordan Love.
I apologize, America.
Sam Howell and Josh Dobbs against that Seattle defense that's getting better.
Love makes the love list, and others receiving votes is my QB9. It's the Broncos. They allow passing touchdowns at the highest rate. They're allowing the most yards per pass attempts. They've had 2 weeks, the Packers have, to prepare for this game. Hopefully everyone is healthy. Jones is back. Watson's fully healthy. Musgrave off the concussion list. I like Jordan Love. Future Hall of Famer Sam Howell is a top 12 play for me this week. Over the past 4 weeks, Giants allow passing touchdowns at the 6th highest rate. Their secondary's beat up. I think the Giants will be able to move the ball against the Commanders. So over the last 3 weeks, over 21 fantasy points per game for Sam Howell. And Josh Dobbs, again, as he's sort of biding time until Kyler Murray comes back. He's 40 rushing yards in 4 of the last 5 games. Seahawks allow the 5th most passing yards per game. They're heavy underdogs. The Cardinals are. They're going to have to be throwing.
Moving over to the hate list, topped by Kirk Cousins against the 49ers. Jay, listen to this. 4 of the 6 quarterbacks to face San Francisco have scored single-digit fantasy points this season. No Justin Jefferson doesn't make you feel any better about this.
Yep, top 3 defense in San Francisco. I think it's a massive red flag as well that Cousins just didn't do anything against the Chicago secondary in the first game without Justin Jefferson. So this is as bad a matchup as it gets, Matthew.
Only 2 teams in the NFL allow fewer fantasy points to quarterbacks than the Niners as well. They actually have twice as many interceptions as touchdown passes.
That's wild.
So yeah,
1 to 2.
Even in a week with 6 teams on a bye, Kirk is outside my top 12. Also not crazy about Trevor Lawrence tonight. We're going to talk about the game coming up, but I will just say that whether Trevor Lawrence is active tonight or it's C.J. Beathard, whoever the quarterback of the Jaguars is, you don't want any part of the Saints defense here.
Yep, also short week, and they just recently had 2 weeks in London as well. Travel, all that kind of stuff does not work well for the Jags.
Yeah, Saints are top 5 pass defense this year. Saints allow the second lowest passer rating to opposing quarterbacks as well. It's either a limited Trevor Lawrence or C.J. Beathard.
Both scary.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.